Hello, 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 everyone. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak to anyone else who is celebrating or observing Ramadan. Hey, Raven. Hey, Mickey Brooks. We about to get this show on the road because I have so much to talk about today. I have so much to talk about today. Like, dear God, it is so much going on. It is so much going on, y'all. I can't believe it. I honestly, like, so much has happened since our last show. We're not going to be able to get into all of it, but we're going to start with some positivity. Savior's Day was this weekend in Detroit. Um, we That's where the thumbnail is from. It's from Savior's Day. So Savior's Day is usually February 26th. They usually do the Nation of Islam does a conference either the weekend before or the weekend after. So February 26th is the birthday of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a great teacher to um, a lot of our greats, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, Malcolm X, and me. So I just wanted to say Happy Savior's Day. And I wanted to also share that Minister Farrakhan made an appearance at Savior's Day, which is awesome because he's getting older and we don't really see him too much anymore. But he came and he did an address. I would love to watch it all with you all, but we're not going to do that today.
His mouth is the mouth of God. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum.
We are very, 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 very fortunate to still have him. So, yeah, that is a great thing to see him up and moving, and he's able to still speak in front of us. So, maybe we'll watch the address on another day, but we ain't gonna be able to do it today. Hey, Red Six. So since we got that out the way, because I was definitely going to start with the minister, of course. Um, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I didn't get to watch the fight, but if I would have been there and I would have been, and I would have seen this, I would have been so hyped. Like this would have had me out my seat. Y'all probably don't know this, but I love me some Boosie. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody says. I love me some Boosie. You want to run your mouth? You got some Boosie. Yes, yes. All right, we got to move on, y'all. Our sister Clarissa Shields, she won and she was very gracious. I missed the fight. I literally caught the fight like right when it was over. I forgot it was on. But yeah. Our sister won. We are proud of her. Moving on, Jackson State baseball beat Yale in the Andre Dawson Classic, and Andre Dawson was actually a great baseball player who actually went to an HBCU as well. So it is great to see Jackson State University being recognized on a national scale. So let's see what they had to say when they won.
TJ Wilson, you can see his team is so proud of him. Talk about how you're feeling right now.
I feel great. This is my first start of my college career. I got on base every single at bat today, so it just feels great.
Coach, talk to us about how you guys practice like this. Momentum swings, are you guys saying? What was the moment that really got you pumped?
Really just my first AB. I went down 0-2, and then I came back and got a hit 0-2. That felt pretty good.
Now, talk about how you kept your team intact when they kind of looked like they were going to come back. Well, they looked like they were going to come back when they hit those 2 home.
All right, we're going to keep it moving, y'all. I just wanted y'all to see. Hey, Angelica Lena. We got to keep it moving. I just wanted y'all to see, like, this was such a great weekend for us. Like, our people were winning this weekend. Clarissa Shields, she won her fight. Jackson State beat Yale. We had the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan came out at Savior's Day, and he spoke and addressed his flock. We were winning. We were winning this weekend. We had such a great weekend, y'all. We had such a great weekend, and I just really wanted to highlight those things. We're gonna fast forward to the main topic of the day. There's other things I wanted to talk about, but if we don't get to them, we can get to that stuff tomorrow. But I really wanted to start off the show with like some positivity. Big things happened this weekend. We're always winning, you know what I mean? Like, there's always positive stories about us in the news that we have to amplify. That is why I created this account. I'm really going to be posting more videos, and the topics of the videos are just going to be what we're doing now, the history that we are making today. Of course, it's Black History Month. We want to talk about things that happened in the past, but I really want to focus on what is happening in the present, the history that we are making today, because we are not a dead people. We are alive, and we are constantly creating new things, and we are constantly doing things that should be honored. So for that, I'm going to give us a round of applause right now. I mean, the greatness doesn't die. We're just going to keep expanding it. We're going to keep expanding it. Raven says we are on the right side of history. We're always on the right side of history. Because even throughout all of our faults and all of our trials, we're still a righteous people. For the most part, we do things for the right reasons. So that's why we're always going to be on the right side of history. And we're always going to be the people that other people follow. Because even in a time where we are still being oppressed and subjugated, we have the loudest microphone of any group in the entire world. So that's why it's so important during this time that we have something to say, something important to say. And I think that we're on the right track, honestly. I think that we're on the right track. So on that note, we're going to talk about why do African Americans seem more confident than Black British people? Now, I haven't watched this whole video, but I wanted to watch this with y'all so we can comment on this video together.
Why is it that African Americans seem to have more self-belief and confidence than Black British people? This is a question I've really been thinking about. And it's quite hard for me to answer because I haven't been in the African American school system. I haven't lived there for an extended period of time. But what I can speak on is the Black British UK whatever mindset. And I believe it is a moderate mindset. So nothing should ever be extravagant. Everything needs to be moderate. Whether it's your dressing style, whether it's your opinions, whether it's your ideas, everything has to be in a certain range. Let's say 2 to 5. It shouldn't go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't want exceptional. We don't want average. And I believe it's a thing where I think being average to an extent is celebrated in the UK, but being extravagant or striving for more or being excess, quote unquote, personality wise, whether that's being loud, because people call Americans loud, but they're just very expressive. And I think those kind of things are awarded or rewarded in America while they are shunned in the UK. And I'm not sure where it started, how it started. Maybe it started from primary school, maybe it started from high school, who knows? All I know is I'm in a current position where even as myself as a person, usually when I'm going out to events or things like that, I genuinely feel the need to tone it down. Tone it down, whether that's personality, how I feel. Everyone wants to kind of be calm, relaxed, no excitement, no passion, you know what I'm saying? You don't really see a lot of that. And I don't know what it is like. If I went to town, town center, and I was recording videos, you know what I'm saying? People gonna be looking at me weird. They'll be like, what's this guy doing? Who does he think he is? But in America, you know what I'm saying? Someone might even help you be like, yo, what's up, chat, da-da-da. And why is that? This is not an answer. I'm posing a question, something else to think about as people, especially if you live in the UK. If you've experienced it, let me know in the comments because it just feels like everyone is just, that's the best way I can describe it. It's hard to articulate this feeling into words where extra is bad, moderate is good. That's the best way I can explain it. What do you guys think in the comments though?
Now, the way that I feel about this, I think that I think the reason why the Black Brits, quote unquote Black Brits, are so toned down is because they're afraid of the white people in their country. I know British culture is a little bit more subdued. So, of course, if they're going to assimilate into British culture, they're going to be subdued as well. But they don't come off as confident to me. They come off as being buck broken. The Black Brits, they seem like they're afraid to make any noise in the country that they live in. And I think that what happened last night at the BAFTA Awards is because the white establishment British people resent Black Americans because we have like a strong aura that can't be torn down. You know what I mean? And I think that they really wanted to see if they could break us. And of course they couldn't. But as we see the fallout of everything, we see who stepped up to defend the people that were harmed and the people that stepped up to defend the people, the person that harmed other people. At Red Six says it's because we are deeply rooted in the fabric of America, our homeland. They play it safe to not be threatening, whereas we don't care. Yeah, because we're at home. The thing is, like, me or you, we didn't have to fight in not one war on this land. But we have ancestors that did. And they did that so that we could be able to inherit the land that they fought for. All they did was get on a plane and fly to that country. They're still guests there. We're not guests in America. This is our home. Dr. Grant says, I'm AA, but they're Black. I never call them Black, African, and Caribbean. I'm just calling them Black for the sake of the conversation. I don't call them Black either. They want to be Black, but they're not Black. They're melanated. They're melanated immigrants that live in Great Britain, other parts of Europe. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people that try to claim that they're Black Brits, they live in Ireland, they live in Scotland. You know what I mean? They don't even be living in Great Britain. Well, they live in Great Britain, but they don't live in London. What time is he talking about? Good morning. Where are you? Where are you? Anyways, let me just play the video because I'm going on a rant. I'm literally going on a rant before I even show y'all the video. This is crazy. even when I'm we're they're melanated Caucasians. That is because they aspire to be white. That's what it is. That's why they can so easily defend the person that harmed other people instead of defending the people that you supposedly look like you're supposed to be cousins to. We're supposed to be kin, right? But you don't defend the people that were harmed in that situation. That's what I'm just not understanding. You know what, I am understanding, but I can't get down with it because I'm not a weak person. So I can't see other people being weak and not standing up for themselves because these men were called the N-word, but they call you the N-word all the time and you don't care. But they did this because they knew that would be hurtful to them.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
Like, what? The show didn't even get started. This was the first award of the night. And this man who supposedly has Tourette syndrome, he yells out the N-word. Now I understand having Tourette's and there's tics. I understand that. I understand that he has a disability. But why are you saying the N-word? Let's get down to the Mickey Brooks said conveniently timed. Exactly. That's why I don't believe it was a tic. I believe that he was placed there and told to do this. Mind you, the movie that won Best Actor is the movie that was based on his life. So the actor who was playing him won the Best Actor award over Michael B. Jordan. So that is very, very important right now. The actor that won over Michael B. Jordan, who was the harmed party in this situation, he's playing the guy who yelled out the N-word in the movie. And apparently this movie won a lot of awards. These people play in our face all day. They will give someone an award and they will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions of dollars for an awards show just so they could get this moment right here and they could broadcast it to the world. This is what these people do. They are devils. So don't let anybody try to lead you to believe that, oh, this is just an accident. He has a disability. We should have more grace for him. No. These people will play in your face if you allow them to. Dr. Grant says Black Americans who escaped to Mexico or Canada also paid for their freedom in blood fighting for Mexico and Canada. We are a people of resistance. Yeah, because why wouldn't we fight for the place where we live? That's what I believe, that we're going to have an opportunity where we're going to have to fight again. And we're going to see who is going to stand up and fight for us and who's going to flee again. That's just what I believe. Red 6 says less African and Caribbean are being allowed to immigrate to the UK. They are being replaced by Arabs and Asians. Yeah. The Indians are definitely taking over the UK right now. Like, isn't their prime minister Indian? Someone of great importance is Indian in the UK right now. I don't know though. Hey, Austel Gray, that yeah, he's guilty of sin. Yes. I don't believe that it was an accident. And the reason why I don't believe it was an accident, we're gonna go back to this video. But the reason why I don't believe it was an accident is because of this. Someone tweeted Les Beyonce. I don't know. Hopefully that's how you say her name. But she says, I can't stop thinking about Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo's face when they were called a slur. You literally saw their spark disappear from their eye. Now the production designer of Sinners is saying John Davidson said slurs 3 times to Black people last night. What? So he didn't just do it that one time. So Hannah Beachler says, I keep trying to write about what happened at the BAFTAs and I can't find the words. The situation is almost impossible, but it happened 3 times that night. And one of the 3 times was directed at myself on the way to dinner after the show. And a 3rd time at a Black woman. I understand and deeply know why this is an impossible situation. I know we must handle this with grace and continue to push through. But what made the situation worse was the throwaway apology of if you were offended. At the end of the show, of course we were offended. But our frequency, our spiritual vibration is tuned to a higher level than what happened. I am not steel, STEEL. This did not bounce off of me, but I exist above it. It can't take away from who I am as an artist. I'm glad she took the high road in this situation, but at the end of the day, how could it happen 3 times? How could every single time you run into a Black person, you're screaming out the N-word? It doesn't make any sense. Raven says, at this point, I'm really tired of white people, which include white Latinos and white Asians. Yeah, because they're all conspiring against us for some reason. And it's against Black Americans. It's not this global Black myth that they want to create. No, it's really just Black Americans, because we are the only ones that are tough enough to stand up for ourselves. You saw nothing but Black, or let me not even call them Black, melanated British people coming to his defense and making it seem like we were wrong for being offended. Ikari says, it's really funny people get Tourette's trigger when they seen some brown skin. Hello? Does that even make sense? It does not make sense. And he did it 3 times? Come on, people. We can't let these people play in our face, because they do things like this just to see if they can still get a rise out of us. Oh yeah, we're going to stand up for ourselves. You're not going to hurt our feelings, but we are going to check you every single time. And it seems like the melanated people in Britain, they didn't want to rock the boat. They wanted us to stop talking about it. So y'all want to be quiet about the racism in your country, but you expect us to be quiet about it too when the racism is directed at one of our people? No, ma'am. We're not doing that. Red Six says, why is it that every time someone has a Tourette tick, it's always a racial slur directed at us? It's not an accident. It's not an accident. And like I said, they could have this whole award show, give this person an award, honor this person, and this person can be sent to try to harm the parties who created the most popular movie of last year. Of course, nobody has heard of this John Davidson person. No one has seen this movie. The name of the movie is, hold on, let me find it. Because I looked it up. Because I needed some more understanding about this. The movie is called I Swear. Apparently, it was a movie that was about this guy, John Davidson, struggling with Tourette's. The guy who played him, he also won the Rising Star Award. But of course, like we've been talking about for the past couple weeks, one battle after another won the most awards last night. So I guess they decided that they weren't going to be able to just use that as a way to use Teyana Taylor being in the movie and that movie as a way to get to us about Sinners, because we already had the conversation at the Golden Globes about it. You know what I mean? They had to have another moment be the big moment of the night that showed complete disrespect to the cast of Sinners. So we're gonna watch a video of an actor in this movie, I Swear, and what he thinks about what happened.
I'm one of the actors in I Swear. I play John Davidson's lawyer. And if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. In the scene, I'm representing him because he's just got into trouble. And I'm representing him. But at the same time, he's hurling abuse at me. And it's very offensive words. Now, this is the condition, the disease of Tourette's syndrome. John cannot control what he says. In fact, that's the whole point of why we're making this film. We've made this film, I Swear, is to educate people about Tourette's syndrome. And how can you say that he can't be there at the awards? This is a film about his life. This is a film about him. Absolutely, he has to be there. And absolutely, it's great that he was there.
Wait, so now we're supposed to let it slide. We're supposed to let it slide. The fact that this movie's about him, and why would we tell him that he can't come? And no. Do y'all see the play? Do y'all see the play? Like, this makes no sense. Hey, Melrose Radio. Yeah, this the lies that they're trying to tell us right now makes no sense. They're literally trying to reinforce an idea that we should be okay with our subjugation as long as it doesn't offend someone else. Like, we're supposed to hold space for this man that did something incredibly offensive and hurt people at our expense. No, we are not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. And I feel like we proved that last night. We're not doing that anymore. And we're paying attention to these microaggressions. They're not even microaggressions anymore. They're macroaggressions. Akari says, absolutely not. That's why they are treated as such in their country, because they allow foolishness to slide. Yeah. And we saw yesterday, and the reason why we're talking about this today is because this is why the delineation movement exists, because there's no way that you can say that Black Americans are the same as these melanated people that live in the UK and Britain. How can we be the same when we collectively react to a very racist and disrespectful situation very differently. They want us to be quiet about it. No. I don't care if this person has an illness. I don't care. He needs to be held accountable. They're trying to coddle him. I don't care if you had a hard life because of your Tourette syndrome. I don't care about that. Why are you screaming out the N-word 3 times? As soon as you see a black or melanated person, you scream out the N-word. Are you crazy? Why would we be okay with that? No, we're checking people, and we have to, because if we're quiet about this, then they're just going to keep doing it over and over and over again. And that's like Kari said, that's why they get treated like that where they live, not where they're from, where they live. Because one, they didn't work for nothing there. All the people that live there, they just see them as a strain on the resources because they did not do anything. All they did was move there for a job. So you're not seen as like an actual part of the country. In America, we may have our issues with white people, but they know who built this. They know that we are American. Even the ones that try to tell us to go back to Africa, they know the truth. Mickey Brooks says Tourette's does not equal outbursts. That form of Tourette's is uncommon. Yeah, it's a tic. Even like, where's that cute little girl that has Tourette syndrome? I know y'all seen her. Let me see if we can find a video of her. I saw a video of her earlier, but she was defending the guy with Tourette's, and I get it, girl, because you got it too. But we're not. Yeah, I didn't want to show y'all that video because if I don't want to hear anybody defending him, even though we do know that you have it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. That cute little girl with braces, who has Tourette's, and she be doing like little videos, like influencer type videos, like showing stuff that she has, like she's bought and stuff. Dang it. This is the only video I found, y'all. So this is the one where she's defending. But watch her tics.
This is part 2 to my last post about the entire BAFTA situation. I am seeing a ton of people saying, oh my god, during Black History Month, Tourette syndrome is not based on a month. Offensive tics are going to happen no matter what shit a person does. I'm Black. Oh my goodness. And I also have the N-word as the tic. I have other slurs as tics. Does this mean that I use them regularly? Does this mean that I mean them? Does this mean that I can control what I say? No, it doesn't.
But you see how like her tics work. You know what I mean? She's not screaming out loud. Y'all. Anyways, Red 6 says spineless. That's why their homelands are the way. Yeah. They don't care. They left their homelands and they made a new home somewhere else. That's why they place so much importance on being global citizens. You know what I mean? And they make it seem like we're wrong because we don't travel the world like them. We're not running from anything. I can travel all through America and I can see different landscapes. I can see the ocean. I can see the mountains. I can see the beach. I can see the desert. I don't really have to travel all over the world. They travel because they don't like being where they're from. All right, y'all. We're not going to finish watching that video of that guy trying to defend the guy that did this. But we are going to talk about this. The BBC has issued an apology for failing to edit out the racial slur from the BAFTA Film Awards while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage. Some viewers may have heard strong and offensive language during the BAFTA Film Awards. This arose from involuntary verbal tics associated with Tourette syndrome, and as explained during the ceremony, it was not intentional. We apologize that this was not edited out prior to the broadcast, and it will now be removed from the version on BBC iPlayer. So all of this just confirms that it was done purposely, because they edited out someone's acceptance speech. They said something about free Palestine or something like that. They edited that out. The show was on a 2-hour delay. They could have edited out the outburst. There was clearly enough time for them to edit it out, but they wanted it there for a reason. Now, why would they want it there? Why would they have kept it? Can anybody guess? Hey, Reparations Nation. Can anybody guess why they wouldn't have edited that out? It's because they wanted it there. They wanted to start this conversation. They wanted you know what? And it could have not been the BBC. It could have been the person himself. He probably wanted all the attention. He could have wanted all the attention on himself. Blatant disrespect. Obviously, Melrose Radio, it was definitely blatant disrespect. But I believe they wanted to do this purposely because they wanted to try to put us in our place for some reason. Sinners was too big of a movie. It crushed all expectations. It made the movie industry all over the world look crazy. That an independent film from a Black filmmaker could do the numbers that it did, could start the conversations that it did. I don't care what anybody says, that movie was a force to be reckoned with. They wanted to take as much attention off of Sinners as possible. So the two of the stars in the movie, they're presenting the first award of the night. And a man with Tourette syndrome yells out the N-word. The show didn't even get started, and this happened. Mickey Brooks says, stealing the thunder, a la that La La Land Moonlight mix-up at the Oscars. It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact thing. Reparations Nation says they really tried to play with Sinners. They're still trying to play with Sinners. The Oscars has not come yet. And I said that this was going to happen. I said that they're going to play in our face. I didn't know in the many ways that they would try it, but they've definitely tried to play in our faces about Sinners several times this award season already. And Ryan Coogler and the rest of the cast of Sinners, they probably had so many upgrades throughout this award season because they've had to be so strong with the things that they've been having to deal with. Yeah, and we really we have to honor this man because he's been going through hell. He has been going through hell this award season. And I don't want what happened to overshadow the fact that Sinners became the most honored film by a Black director in BAFTA history. I feel like that's why. I feel like that has to be the reason why this happened. They're trying to let the steam out. They're trying to minimize the impact. And they're doing it any way that they can. They did it at the Golden Globes. And now the BAFTAs. Ryan Coogler won for Best Screenplay. Sinners should have won even more awards. But we know at the Oscars, I feel like they're building up this anticipation at the Oscars because Sinners was nominated 13 times. We're already bracing ourselves because we believe that they're going to get snubbed badly. But so far, Ryan Coogler has won Best Screenplay twice. So at the very least, maybe the Oscars will give them Best Screenplay. But also, Wunmi Musaka, she won Best Supporting Actress for Sinners, which I also found very interesting because she is, of course, a British actress. And I recently saw a film that she was in with Idris Elba. Now, this movie hasn't come out yet. I don't know when it's going to come out. I think it's probably like going to be on Netflix or Peacock or something like that. But I'm probably not even supposed to talk about it, but I don't care. This movie is really going to expose the reason why these British actors come over here and they want to play our heroes and they want to take our roles. It's mainly because the industry for them is nearly non-existent. The stories are terrible. One thing about British television and movies, they're very like the guy said in that first video that I showed you about how different they are from us. They're very, very moderate people. Like they can't be too loud, they can't be too extravagant, you know what I mean? And I think that limits their roles as well because the people over there, they don't want to I don't think they can handle personality. They can't handle too much. So that also probably limits their roles. But also the dynamic that they have, their black white dynamic that they have is very, very subservient. That's not the dynamic that we have over here. So in their movies, they're always playing like a submissive role to a main character that is white. So you're gonna, when this movie comes out, we might have to watch it together or something because I really need y'all to see everything that happens in this movie explains why they're all over here. Reparations Nation says, "Oh, I'm not watching the Oscars. I haven't in years because if MBJ doesn't win, I'm gonna lose it." Yeah, I'm worried that he's not gonna win. He deserves to win. But I don't watch it either. I just watch the highlights. I don't watch any of these award shows because they're all demonic and they're all rituals. Point blank, period. This was a ritual. This was a humiliation ritual for Delroy Lindo, who is British, and he doesn't even want to be over there making movies. He's supposedly making a movie about Marcus Garvey here, not there. And Michael B. Jordan, this was a humiliation ritual for them. They were trying to embarrass them. It was supposed to be a historic night for Sinners. It was a historic night for Sinners, but it was overshadowed by this man with Tourette's and the fact that he can't control himself from yelling out racial slurs. Reparations Nation says he only watched the Oscars in 22 to see if they was going to play Angela Bassett's face, and they did. Yeah. And then they end up giving her an honorary award because she should have gotten her first Oscar when she played Tina Turner. But all of these award shows are rituals, and most of the time they're doing it to humiliate a Black person. Reparations Nation also says she's the only African that I'm in love with. Oh, Wunmi Musaka, she is gorgeous. And in this movie, she was beautiful. She was beautiful in this movie. But when you watch it, you're going to be like, okay, this is some bull. The movie was good, but you gonna watch it, you're gonna be like, this was really some trash. Mickey Brooks says they're bland. Yeah, but I think that's just British culture. Like they're just bland people, and they're not exciting, and that's just how they are over there. When I was watching, okay, so so I saw that movie, but I also saw this show. I don't know if it's out yet either, but it was Carmine Jogo and like, I don't know, some other white British woman. I'm not sure, but it was like a series. It was kind of like Big Little Lies, if y'all ever saw that show. But in the series, Carmine Jogo has a daughter that goes to like some elite girls' school, and her daughter and her friends got in trouble because they were on some like app or whatever. Like there's like some secret app where the girls submit to get rated or something. But it's like I can't even explain it. It was so lame. It was very, very lame. Like I'm watching the show and they're like building up the anticipation for like a big reveal, and the reveal was like, it was so whack. I was like, no. Because okay, so this is what happened on the show. So Carmine Jogo and her friend, it's like she has like a white girlfriend or whatever. Their daughters are friends. They go to the same school or whatever. The white girl, she's like the ringleader of it all, because she's trying to get into like some influencer house with this this black dude. I mean, he looked, honestly, they tried to make him look as thuggish as possible, but yeah, so they go to this house party or whatever, and at the house party, it's like older people there, but they're like, the girls are like in high school. And so there's like drinking and like smoking and stuff, or whatever they were doing going on there. I don't even know if they smoke marijuana in the UK, but these girls come from elite families, by the way. Like it wasn't like they were, it just did not make sense. Like they were trying to make money by getting rated by this guy who owns this influencer house. But I thought they were about to be sex trafficked when I was watching it. So like the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, this girl is about to get raped on camera. Sorry. This girl is about to get assaulted on camera. That's what I'm thinking the whole time I'm watching it. And they go into this room, and like this girl, she tells the girl, she's like, are you ready? And she's like, yeah. And then the camera comes on and they start doing a TikTok dance. I was like, what? Y'all wasted my time watching. I watched 45 minutes of this episode for y'all to just get up here and do a TikTok dance. It just showed me, like, watching that this is the most that the British public can handle watching on their TVs. So that's why their movie industry is so terrible, because you can get away with doing so much more over here, because there's like no limits on American television. Like you can curse on American television now. There's nudity. So I got so off track. I don't even remember the name of this show, but it'll probably be on Peacock or Hulu or Netflix or something. Probably Amazon Prime within the next few months. But it was so boring. It was so boring. And I'm sure whatever other movies that were nominated, that one, like that I Swear movie, I'm sure it's boring too. Moving on. Yeah, Ryan Coogler, congratulations. You are a star, and you keep winning. You keep winning. And I'm proud of the whole cast, because they keep exceeding expectations, and they keep going above and beyond, and they deserve I think they deserve everything that they have been getting this award season. They don't deserve the disrespect, but they do deserve their awards. Moving on. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to say about that? Because I'm about to shut that whole situation down. It's just unbelievable. But it makes the case for delineation because we're seeing in real time how different we are, how different our politics are, how different socially we are from people that may look like us or they may cosplay like us, but they're not like us. And it's because they haven't grown into this conscious thought that we've grown into because we have been in the belly of the beast with white supremacy for 500 years. These other people, they don't have that experience. They still think that they can reason with white supremacy, and they're trying to barter their own dignity for a place within the comfort of white supremacy. We're not doing that. We're fighting for our own individual spots because we want to be left alone. We don't want to be in this hellscape anymore where we have to barter our dignity just for scraps from people who hate us. We're not doing that. Reparations Nation says they also worship the crown. They do. The way that these people were crying, the way that they were crying when Queen Elizabeth died, it's ridiculous. We don't worship whiteness. We don't look at whiteness as like a savior because through colonization, when their countries were colonized, it's kind of like Europeans came in and saved them. We don't look at it like that because we weren't saved. We were forced into servitude and we had to work for everything that we got. Anyways, let's they see themselves as dark-skinned British. I don't know why. I don't even know why they see themselves as British, to be honest. Them seeing themselves as British makes no sense.
Stop calling it Black Unity. Call it what it actually is, a shakedown. The phrase Black Unity only comes up when it's time to extract value or resources from Black Americans. The diaspora is like a deadbeat father. For 400 years, they didn't want anything to do with us. But now that Black American culture runs the entire planet, suddenly the diaspora wants to show up, take credit, and act like they were there from day one. This Black Unity scam has gotten so out of hand, we are now forced to compete with the entire globe for our own identity. They also want to be our representation in media and politics while telling us to take a backseat in the name of Black Unity. Why are we allowing other people to play the lead role in our story? And when we say no to any of this, they turn around and call us divisive. Not to mention their all-time favorite buzzword, xenophobic. Notice how the diaspora is the only people who get triggered when we put foundational in front of Black American. It's literally always the diaspora. Even on social media, just look at the accounts. You're going to see a foreign flag upset about the word foundational. Here's why. We're closing the buffet. We are no longer allowing people to wear our ethnicity like a used jacket whenever it's convenient for their personal gain. We are literally the only ethnicity on this planet where that level of disrespect is tolerated. You wouldn't see a Mexican trying to represent a Cuban or a Jamaican trying to be the face of Haiti. An Ethiopian would never, and I mean never, let a Somali speak for them just because they're both African. Y'all gotta stop allowing people from these oppressive nations to come over here and try to lecture you about anything. That's the audacity you, as a Black American, need to check. Black Americans, we are rooted in resilience, creativity, and expression. So don't you ever let anyone, especially someone not from your lineage, think they have any type of power or authority to tell you what you can or cannot say. Even if you don't use the word foundational, you need to shut any disrespect down. Where does that audacity even come from? As a Black American, you need to understand that nobody from the diaspora has any moral high ground to think they can shame you or lecture you on anything. Every ethnicity on this planet protects their heritage. But the minute Black Americans want to do the same, it's suddenly labeled xenophobic. They aren't mad that we're divisive. They're mad the free ride is over. The Black Unity scam is officially out of service.
And I think the main thing about that is that we're not seeing that it. Of course, the exchange is imbalanced. Like we're not getting anything out of lending them our identity for them to traffic in. But I think one of the main things is that they're just not like us. They're just not like us. And when we say they're not like us, like with their thinking and the way that they behave, the way that they do things, it's like they're trying to pretend and blend in with us, but the way that they think, their lack of consciousness is detrimental to our politics. Like just them being associated with us has set our political advocacy back. Like I would say that we're still in the 60s. So we're probably like 60, 70 years behind where we should be, because we allow these people to come over and kind of blend in with us and be in our spaces and become, politicians in the places where we live. Thank you for reposting my stream, Brash Justice. We're almost about to get out of here, but I wanted to play that because it definitely sums up like the moment that we're in right now. And of course, there are some of us who don't agree with the direction that we're going into, but I believe that soon everyone is going to be on the same page, because when things in media and entertainment happen like what happened last night, it's like it's impossible for you to pretend like you didn't see it. And the way that we are as Black Americans, we're not allowing it's not that we're just not allowing disrespect, but if we were able, because I don't think as a people we're able to give grace to a situation like that, but if we were able to give grace to him in that situation, it would just be happening over and over and over again. These people, they do things like this because they want to see how far they can go. That's not where we are with the melanated Brits. That's not where we are. We're way past trying to reason with racism. We're way past that. So if we allow them to try to force us into reasoning with what happened last night, we would be just like them. Lost, deaf, dumb. We're trying to progress. They want things to stay the same. We're not trying to stay the same. Reparations Nation says, like Harriet Tubman did, we leaving those that ain't on board behind. Yeah. And the problem is, it's kind of like these last 60, 70 years, we were helping them to try to catch up to us. And of course, they caught up to us in a very superficial way. You know what I mean? In the superficial way that they caught up with us was they were able to infiltrate our schools, our neighborhoods, political offices in order to represent us. And on paper, it seems like they have caught up to us and we are on the same playing field. But the fact that we are more resilient and we actually know what's going on spiritually because we are in the land of our ancestors, some things are about to happen that they're not going to be privy of, and they're not going to be privy to, and they're not going to understand what's happening because they haven't gone through what we went through here. So this is the perfect time for everyone to get on code, because we are all we have. these people, they're when S hits the fan, they're not going to be on our side. They're going to do whatever they can to go down with the whites. Ikari says they don't know just how good they had it with the civil rights generation. Right, because we're not those people. The civil rights generation, these people are retiring and moving to Ghana. That's not what we're doing. We're staying here. Angelica Lena, they never really did catch up to us. No, they didn't, but like superficially, they have in a way, because they're taking positions that are made for us. They're taking our scholarships. They're going to our colleges. They're in our fraternities, in our sororities. You know what I mean? So superficially, it looks like they have, and that's why when they fight with us, they say, "Oh, we're doing better than you in your own country." You know what I mean? But it's all superficial. It's all superficial. We're evolving in a way that they're not going to be able to understand because they did not go through the fire. They were propped up. They think that they were able to skip over 400 or 500 years to get to where we are today. And what's going to happen in the future is going to show them that they have not. Red Six says they're artificially inflated. Their value is tied to us. It is. That's why the fact that we are cutting that string, that tether, it's shattering their whole identity. Because just because we allowed them to pretend like they were us, they're realizing that they can't be us unless we allow them to be us. If we don't allow it, they're just immigrants from whatever country their parents came from or they were born in, you know? Reparations Nation says, to be totally honest, they not those people either. Those first few that came over were decently on code. Yeah. The ones that were here before the Civil Rights Act, and the ones that actually got down with the movement and actually learned some type of consciousness while they were at our HBCUs. Some of them, the ones that weren't, turncoats and traders, some of them were on code with us. But these people, they're not on code because they're just trying to come over here so they can work. They're sending money back home. They're trying to replace us in our own spaces. That whole Essence Fest thing, that really, if Black people weren't paying attention before Essence Fest debacle of last year, then they're surely paying attention now. There's absolutely no way that you could not pay attention and see what was going on. And what made it all worse, we're about to get out of here because I got to go pick up a scene. But what made that whole Essence Fest thing even worse was that they were using our $1 trillion buying power to try to get more funding for their ventures in Nigeria. So they were trying to say that because Black Americans have access to over $1 trillion worth of buying power, that they had access to that, and they were using us in order to get funding for their ventures in Nigeria. It's so laughable when you really think about it. Like, they really thought that they were about to play us. They think that we're dumber than we are because we are a lot more accepting than they would ever be. Like, if the shoe was on the other foot, there's no way that they would have. They probably would have ran us up out of this country. Like, let's say, for example, Nigeria was America, and it had, all of the industry and the infrastructure was built, and we were trying to immigrate there, they would have all tried to KILL us to get us up out of their country. But we accepted them. We welcomed them with open arms. And I think that's how they took our kindness for weakness. They thought it was sweet. But since these people aren't going to be connected to us anymore, they're not going to really have any value to the white supremacists. Because they were using them because they thought that they were light versions of us. Before we get up out of here, I want to talk about Adonis. So we talked about Adonis last week. He was arrested for defending himself on stream. Some Romanian crackhead spit on him and he put him straight to sleep. So Adonis is on house arrest. We don't really know what's going on with him. He's trying to be mum about it all because he is in a foreign country. But we do have people like Arthur Watkins trying to petition the Romanian government on his behalf. And I'm sure he has lawyers and, other people trying to help him. But he says, as an update, February 22nd, 2026 update. Kinfolk 12 scope on my drop. Lips sink ship, awake but not up. Insides hurt. Feeling on John Q. Burn edges surrounding on a hot comb. Please keep to body. Gate kept translation. Boy shaken but tall on that Turner. Fear on that wife. So I'm taking that as they're watching his every move. He's trying not to say too much. He is trying to pay attention to what's going on. Something could have happened to him, but he's not trying to say too much. Let's just keep him in our prayers. I hope that he is okay. I know that he is in a very scary situation right now, but he is our brother and he is doing great work. So yeah, I think somebody sent me a cash app. My phone was going off. Let's see. Mickey Brooks, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your generous donation to the channel. Tomorrow we will be back. I'm gonna have to change the name to this because I really wanted to get into something else. We only have an hour today, y'all, but tomorrow we will get into some more things. I'm gonna change the name on this, the name and the title on this show, and we're gonna talk about more ancestral things tomorrow. Again, I love you all. Thanks again, Mickey Brooks. But I love you all. This is a great show. And I'll see y'all in the tweets. But if I don't, I will see y'all tomorrow at 1:30. Assalamu alaikum.